Good evening, Vallarta, and all the Bay Area. As you can see, we are still in the radio set. But you know why? It's because our new set that's coming.
It's
a secret.
So amazing.
It is so amazing. It's almost ready. I promise you. I know we've been saying that for a little while, but we're on manana time. Slow it down.
We're in Mexico, okay? We're in Mexico.
Totally. Jesse's voice is a little off tonight, as you might hear, but we're going to be all right. But overall, you have tuned into CPS News with Jesse and Brent. It's the news that speaks your language. We have a lot of news tonight. What do you got to say? Or can you?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for being here. I won't talk very much so I don't hurt your ears, but I'm here and I will inform you of what's going on here in Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas.
What a trooper. Okay, let's do it. Let's go to the headlines now.
Tourism providers in Mismaloya demand municipal support to protect Los Arcos. Fugitive femicide suspect captured after 24-hour search in Punta de Mita. Major revitalization plan for downtown Puerto Vallarta announced by Mayor Munguia Gonzalez. In sports news tonight, Jimena Placito and Lupita Hernandez shine at National Front Tennis Championship in Guadalajara. In other news, Georgia Darashori and Casa Karma's Heart of Gold, stepping up in times of need. And finally, be sure to stay tuned for Brent's Voices of Vallarta, interview with Melissa Louise on sex, intimacy, and relationships. Find out more about these stories, this week's Red Hot happenings, and more on the one-hour edition of CPS News with Jesse and Brent, the news that speaks your language.
Tourism in Puerto Vallarta is really stepping it up, and tour providers in Mismaloya are protecting Los Arcos, which is very, very important to me, as I really work with them a lot. And they're forming a vigilant committee to preserve this unique ecosystem. But they say they need the city's help to keep their efforts going. Right now, they're funding maintenance and patrols out of their own pockets, but they're calling on Mayor Munguia to follow through on his promise of support. Their goal is to install protective barriers around the area, which has long been considered for a national park status. Committee member Chipol Guzman gave the media a tour explaining how they take turns patrolling by boat, educating visitors, and enforcing conservation rules. Those rules include no music, no feeding the fish, no crossing the tunnels, and no tying the boats to the barriers. But during the tour, it was clear that not everyone is following these rules, something the committee says needs stronger enforcement. Funding from their work partly comes from public restroom fees at Mismaloya Beach, and they insist those funds stay under control, rejecting any takeover by the municipal DIF. For now, they say they'll keep doing it that way as long as they can, but real change will require government actions.
All right, well, let's keep talking about what Mayor Munguia is doing with Puerto Vallarta. He has launched a series of public forums to help shape the city's 2024-2027 municipal development plan. He's encouraging all residents, everyone, to take part, promising that the process will be real and meaningful, focused on persevering local traditions, protecting the environment, and ensuring sustainable growth for the future. Now, these forums are open to everyone. You're welcome to neighborhood groups, professionals, business owners, academics, everyday residents. The goal is to gather ideas on key issues like sustainability, city planning, government efficiency, and economic growth. People are invited to share their thoughts during district meetings and public discussions. The consultation process started March 26 in Ixtapa and Las Juntas, and it will continue in different neighborhoods until April 3rd. There's going to be meetings in places like El Pitillal, Marina Vallarta, and the Historic Center. The final forum will be held at the Municipal Government Building. for those who can't attend in person, there's an option to submit ideas online through the official city website. The city has set aside a small budget for logistics, but the only real cost is transportation for those coming from farther areas. Mayor Munguia outlined 3 key points: protecting the environment, keeping real estate development in check, and improving public spaces. Also, finding solutions for congestion caused by urban growth and limited space. And last but not least, addressing inequality in underserved areas. At least 1% of the population, about 1,900 people, needs to participate for the final plan to move forward. Once all the input is gathered, the Municipal Development Planning Council will review the draft before sending it to the City Council for approval. This initiative aims to make sure Puerto Vallarta grows in a way that reflects the needs and ideas of the people. All of this information has been shared by Miguel González Guerra.
Okay, well, let's continue with a little more infrastructure discussions. So despite years of negotiation, Jalisco continues to push for the implementation of an interstate system to streamline fares and improve mobility between Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas, but Nayarit has yet to respond. During his recent visit to Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco's Secretary of Transportation, Diego Monraz Villaseñor, met with City Mayor Munguia. The unification of the transportation between the 2 states was one of the main topics of discussion. Since the creation of the metropolitan area in 2019, a unified transport system connecting Puerto Vallarta to Bucerías via Federal Highway 200 has been under consideration. However, nearly 3 years later, the project is still not completed. A story that happens, as we know, quite often. Although there is an existing interstate service operated by Autotransportes Medina, ATM, it does not align with Jalisco's vision of integration between the 2 states. Thank you to Israel Torres for this story.
All right, and now let's change the pace, change the subject. I'm going to tell you about the Nayarit Attorney General's office. They have arrested Ezequiel N. He's the main suspect in the murder of 22-year-old Miranda in Punta de Mita, Bahía de Banderas. Authorities had been searching for him since the early hours of March 25th when he allegedly shot his partner and then fled. The 24-hour manhunt involved both state and federal authorities who worked together to track him down. Their search covered their coastal areas of Nayarit and extended to nearby municipalities like Compostela and, of course, Puerto Vallarta to stop him from escaping to another state. While officials haven't officially confirmed the arrest yet, an announcement is expected soon. The case has caused outrage in the community, with many residents sharing the suspect's photo on social media to help authorities locate him. Thanks, Israel Torres, for this information. All right, now let's hear from Cerámicas Exclusivas, one of our sponsors.
Excellence in design and quality has found its home at Cerámicas Exclusivas. Elevate your space with world-class flooring and wall coverings, imported from Europe and carefully selected for those who seek distinction and perfection. In every detail, discover porcelain tiles with a marble look, offering the beauty of natural stone without stains and with easy maintenance. More space, more inventory, more exclusivity. At Cerámicas Exclusivas, we bring you an unparalleled selection of premium materials, perfect for every project. Visit us at Federación 390, Paseos Universidad Ixtapa, Puerto Vallarta, or explore our collection online, www.ceramicasexclusivas.com. Don't miss our exclusive offers, subscribe to our newsletter, and get the latest design trends and promotions every month. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more inspiration and updates. Cerámicas Exclusivas, the art of living with distinction.
I'm sure if you're in town right now, you've seen the smoke that's been in our area recently. So you're probably going to be pretty interested in what's going on. So emergency crews are battling 4 active wildfires in the regions of Cabo Corrientes and Tomatán, Jalisco. A total of 144 forest fighters forest firefighters, try to say that one 3 times fast, from various organizations, including the Protection Civil Jalisco, Canafor, Sedena, and Semedet, and local volunteers are working tirelessly to control the flames. They are supported by 24-hour emergency vehicles and a helicopter conducting aerial water drops and reconnaissance to assess the affected areas. The firefighting efforts are ongoing, with teams focused on preventing the spread of the fire and minimizing damage to the local ecosystem. Authorities urge the public to stay clear of the affected zones and to report any new fires they might see to the authorities. Thank you to Guadalupe Arce for this information.
All right, well, be careful out there. And yes, do report any fires. 911 is the number to call.
Oh, good information. Absolutely. So I'm pretty excited about one of the stories because I work with Amigos de los Arcos. So the story about the protection of Los Arcos is well needed. And I love that I'm part of an organization that's actually helping to do that. That's pretty cool.
Thank you, Brent. And, a shout out to our Amigos de los Arcos. But now we got to go on a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we might talk about trash.
Of course, every week we do. See you in just a minute.
CPS News.
Welcome back to CPS News with Jesse and Brent, the news that speaks your language. And we're going to keep moving on because Jesse's got a story to share with you. So let's get right to it.
Yes, let's talk trash. I'm telling you, there's always a trash story here in Puerto Vallarta nowadays. Well, residents of the Emiliano Carranza and Mina streets in downtown Puerto Vallarta are expressing frustration over the growing pile of trash at this key location point, where waste management services are failing to adhere to scheduled pickup times. The situation has worsened due to the irresponsible actions of some residents who have discarded large items, including refrigerators, toilets, and tree branches. These discarded items, they just make this accumulation so much bigger, making it harder for authorities to properly clear the area. Additionally, many people are placing their trash outside of the designated hours. So yeah, they're placing it outside of the designated hours, turning the spot into a major environmental concern and a health hazard. Located just above the iconic Parroquia de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe, a popular tourist destination, the unkempt area is tarnishing the city's image, particularly in a location with a constant flow of visitors. Neighbors are using both local authorities to improve waste collection efforts and residents to respect collection schedules and designated disposal spaces. With tourism counting to thrive in the area, cleaning up this mess has become an urgent matter. Thank you, Fernanda Bojorquez, for this story.
So always we have a trash story, but we almost always have a water leak story as well. So this next story is going to be our water leak story for the week. So residents of the El Ramans neighborhood in Puerto Vallarta are angered by a persistent water leak at the intersection of Diego Rivera and Pedro Morena streets, which has been causing significant concerns in the area. Photos and videos shared with CPS News show the ongoing waste of water and the potential risk to the local traffic flow. Neighbors are particularly worried about the environmental impact and the possibility of damage to the roadway infrastructure. Although CPL Vallarta is aware of the issue, there has been no update on when the situation will be addressed. Residents are urging a swift resolution to prevent further water waste and minimize any disruptions to the local water supply. Thank you once again for Fernanda Bojorquez, who doesn't just do sports. And now a quick word from our sponsor, from me, about Hospital Hoya, of course. So, are you concerned about your health and your well-being? Of course you are. So don't miss the opportunity to take care of yourself. Hospital Hoya offers a wide range of top-quality medical services, which include comprehensive medical health checkups, laboratory and imaging services, consultations with medical specialists, 24/7 emergency care. Intensive care unit is available and a pediatric unit as well. Now, for more information or to schedule an appointment, just give them a call. 322-226-1010 or 322-226-8181. Stay updated on more information that they're offering, special offers and promotions just by following Hospital Hoya on social media, because your health and your family's health is what matters most. Now let's move on.
All right, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a lot of motorcycles or bikes with paper plates, riding with paper plates around Puerto Vallarta. And I know that a lot of people here are getting worried about the growing number of these guys on the road without proper plates. Instead, they're using their laminated paper sheets that look like temporary permits. Katia Vargas Guillen, the Deputy Director of Municipal Traffic and Transit, made it clear that her department doesn't issue these permits. Only the state's regional unit of services, Unirse, they can provide them. While it's legal to ride without plates, the driver must carry a valid permit, which traffic officers are supposed to check. If riders have a valid permit, it's fine, but local authorities don't determine if they're real or not. That's up to the state's finance department, and the permit has to be issued by Unirse. Daily traffic checks are in place to ensure motorcycle safety. Riders are expected to follow the rules, wear helmets, have insurance, a valid license, and all the necessary documents. It's not just about regulations, it's about keeping everyone safe. Many riders don't think about accidents when they leave home, but having the right paperwork is essential. If they get stopped for a check, they should not panic or try to run. It's all about safety for them and everyone else on the road. Thank you, Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, for this information.
So as a motorcycle rider myself, I found that one pretty interesting. And I have personally noticed a lot of riders here having their bikes pulled over and towed away. I follow the rules. I hope they do, not only to follow the rules, but it's also more safe. All right, moving on. The Boulevard Riviera Nayarit, which runs from Jarataderas to La Cruz, might soon be under federal management. Mayor Hector Santana Garcia is in talks with the Secretaria de Infraestructura and SICT to hand over responsibility for maintaining the road, saying it's just too expensive for the local government. The city recently invested in new road markings, palm trees, and better lighting, and keeping it in top shape is going to be a big financial challenge. Santana hopes that the federal government will take over so the municipality doesn't have to shoulder the costs alone. However, at this point, he's not ready to let it go completely. He wants an agreement that allows the city to step in if the federal maintenance is not up to par. He says we can't let our main road fall apart. If the deal goes through, traffic rules and regulations could change, affecting residents and businesses. But for now, it's up to the SICT to decide whether they'll take over or whether they won't. Thanks again to Israel Torres for that story.
And coming back to information for Puerto Vallarta, let me tell you, more big changes are coming to this town, and this time it has to do with the routes on the public transportation. It also has to do with a full remodel of La Isla del Río Cuale and the relocation of government offices. The mayor says the goal is to reduce congestion and improve mobility in the city's historic center. Bus routes could be redirected or reduced with input from public consultations. Munguia also confirmed a long-awaited renovation of the La Isla del Río Cuale, a beloved landmark that has been neglected for years. The project, already approved by City Council, will bring new life to this iconic island. And in another major move, the decentralization of government offices. The passport office has already relocated to the maritime terminal, as we talked about it in this newscast last week. And soon, the civil registry, tourism, and economic development offices will move as well. With fewer offices, City Hall will be transformed into a cultural space with art exhibits and possible city museum. The mayor says these changes are about preserving Vallarta's charm while making it more efficient and accessible. Thank you, Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, for this info.
Well, as usual, we have a lot of infrastructure, water leaks, the things we talk about, but that's what's really on everybody's mind. So hopefully they're tuning into this news and they're providing their opinion as well, because we let that run across quite a bit of how to give your opinion about infrastructure and water leaks.
Yes, make sure you send us a message if you have something to say about any of this. How's your neighborhood doing with the trash? How is it doing with the water? Well, let us know. Send us a message. And, well, right now we actually have to go on a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have more information, so stay with us.
Welcome back, everybody, and now it's time for Voices of Vallarta with me, Brent Lane, but not by myself today, or ever, really. Today, I also have Melissa Louise with us today, who is a pleasure advocate, sex and intimacy and relationship coach, and all-around super interesting person. We've talked before, we've interviewed before on radio. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this one. As it not only answers questions for our viewers, but, I got some stuff that off-air we talked about too. I was like, I got a question or two. So maybe we'll touch on that as well. But first off, let's just jump into the questions. We have a limited amount of time. So for our viewers, with all those things I said you do, first off, it's going to be, how important is intimacy in a relationship? And is it normal for it to fade?
Oh my goodness, I love this question. It is so damn important. When we're looking at a relationship that is co-creating life together, where you've got mortgages and kids, if you weren't going to be building intimacy, you'd go into Craigslist. Wanted person to go into debt with and bear my children. So if we don't have intimacy in the center, we're not cultivating the glue of the relationship. And as we know, when intimacy fades, this is where the divorce courts, this is why lawyers make so much money. It's because of the fading of intimacy. It's like if we don't have the oxytocin building, if we don't have the fabric of the relating that brought us together, being nurtured, and we always change. Everyone changes all the time too. So if we're not nurturing this space, then what are you doing together? So just be housemates, and then that's what pulls families apart.
So you become like husband-wife friends in a way. But I mean, intimacy could also define different things. I mean, are you just talking about between the sheets here? Are we?
No.
Well, tell me.
Yeah.
What when you say intimacy, what exactly do you mean?
So I love the term sexual currency. What is our currency? So if we look at the word intimacy, it's like intimacy. So how are you being seen? How are you being adored? How are you being taken care of? How are you being nurtured? And so this can this also depends on your love languages. It depends on your erotic blueprints. So it's fostering this environment in the center where all of the things that mean something to us are being nurtured and looked after. So if we have sexual currency and we're continuously depositing into our sexual currency, then this our nervous system needs this, our hormones need this. So when a woman is operating within a relationship where the oxytocin and the serotonin and all of that's not being fostered by the way that she likes to be touched, or the way that she the words she needs to hear, or the things acts of service, if all of that's not been taken care of, then this sort of separation feeling actually causes a lot of stress. And then if we have cortisol running in the relationship, then this is where so when we're looking at the sexual currency, we're working with our hormones and we're working with the foundation that keeps the relationship together.
No, that really clarifies a lot. I appreciate that. So my next question would be reflecting on your experiences, because you mentioned men and women. You mentioned her a lot. Sensuality have you encountered, and how do you help those individuals overcome them?
So there's this belief that, it used to be great before. And now, so therefore it's their problem, or something's wrong with it. So the thing is, as humans, we're always changing. And often also when we come into a relationship, we're operating just on one field, on one plane, because we're not taught about sex. We're not taught about intimacy. We're not taught, how to relate with one another. So however we connect at the beginning, there's this assumption that that's it, and that's got to stay the same. But just like with business, just like with sports, just like with anything, we're always growing and we're finding out new information. information and we're training, you need to train and you need to, have more curiosity and discovery in our sexual relationships as well. It's always changing. And if you're going to put effort into your business and put effort into like bathroom renovations and a new car, but you're not putting that same amount of attention and effort into your relationship, then it's just not fair.
Okay. No, that makes total sense. And you mentioned training, and so we
that comes to the men. Let's talk about that.
Tell me more. I want more training.
Yeah.
No. And I'm sad we only have about a minute left. But so when you talk about training, I'm sure people out there are like, okay, so you offer a lot online, but you offer a lot in person. Kill any misconceptions there, like online versus in person. Very briefly, what would you expect in person? More so
Okay, very, very briefly.
Yeah.
No nudity.
Okay.
I'm not going to be nude. You're not going to be nude. Don't get paid enough for that.
Naked.
No one is naked. No, it depends. Everyone comes to me with a different idea of what they want to experience. And as an erotic blueprint coach, there's all of these different types of energetics. So we have energetic, sensual, kink, sexual, all of these different energies that can be created into a 1 day or 2 day immersion. So, but there's no nudity.
So don't be shy. You can definitely do it. All right. Finally, since we're almost out of time, I know people want to follow you. You're super interested. You have a lot going on. I think we're going to go ahead and put the link for your Instagram up on the screen. That's the best way to follow you right now?
At this point, it's the best way to follow me, and from there, I can get you into my Substack and Facebook and everything. So,
love it. Get in her Substack, folks.
Yes.
All right. Melissa, thank you so much for coming on. I always love chatting with you. That's all the time we have. So tune in next week for Voice of Vallarta for another interesting guest. We hope you loved it this week. But now, here's David with our next story.
In a stern response to the ongoing extortion scandal on the Federal Highway 200, Bahía de Banderas Mayor Héctor Santana Garcia has given the local traffic department 48 hours to remove corrupt officers from the Riviera Boulevard and Highway 200 area. Santana accused several officers of extorting tourists and locals in exchange for not enforcing traffic regulations. The mayor claims to have concrete evidence, including images and complaints that show officers engaging in corrupt activities. He warned that if the traffic department, led by Subdirector Karina Polanco, does not act swiftly, he will personally ensure their removal. Santana also ordered a personal oversight to monitor the actions of any officers involved. Santana stated, quote, "I want no more of these corrupt officers in Bahía de Banderas. I already have proof, and the 200 highway is our gateway, our image. We cannot allow this to tarnish our reputation," end quote. Over recent weeks, videos have surfaced showing officers targeting foreign vehicles, allegedly coercing tourists into paying bribes to avoid fines or having their vehicles impounded. Disturbingly, U.S. tourists have reported extortion demands of up to $1,000 to avoid penalties, raising concerns about a widespread extortion ring operating along the boulevard. This update follows last week's revelation of the growing scam. The mayor's decisive action signals a strong commitment to addressing corruption and restoring trust in Bahía de Banderas public services. With information from Israel Torres, David Herchak, CPS News.
All right, so more information on Puerto Vallarta. Women now outnumber men in ejidos. What's ejidos? Where agrarian communities. They often inherit land after losing their spouses. However, despite their growing presence, no woman has been elected ever president of an ejido. Instead, they typically serve in supporting roles like oversight councils or as substitutes. Recent reforms to agrarian laws aim to change this required gender parting in leadership positions. While some women hesitate due to household responsibilities, more are now included in land inheritance and shift from the past when only sons were named successors. Efforts are underway to encourage female participation, making it clear that change is coming, even if it's slowly. Thank you, Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, for this fantastic information.
Okay, next up, we're moving into sports and out of infrastructure and water leaks. And we've got Maria with a story about a sport you may not know. I didn't know it, frontenis. So let's hear it from Maria and learn a little bit about the sport.
Puerto Vallarta's frontenis stars Jimena Placito and Lupita Hernandez showcase their exceptional racquetball skills at the 2025 National Frontenis Championship. Held at Club Atlas Colomos in Guadalajara, Placito, along with her partner Laura Puentes, claimed the national championship title, while Hernandez secured second place with her partner Paulina Castillo. Both athletes have a distinguished history in the sport, having represented Mexico in world championships and earned Pan American gold medals. Hernandez's return to the podium is especially notable as she made her comeback after a couple of years away from the sport due to the birth of her child, proving she remains at the top of her game at 43 years old. Their impressive performances reinforce Puerto Vallarta's reputation as a breeding ground for top racquetball talent, both nationally and internationally. With information from Fernanda Bojorquez, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Okay, so you love them or you hate them. It's the razors in town. We see them going all around. They do look pretty fun, but razors are used for sports, so this is in our sports section, but they can also be quite dangerous, and that's what this story is about, as some new regulations have been put in place. Following a severe accident involving an off-road razor vehicle, Puerto Vallarta authorities are stepping up safety measures. Mayor Munguia announced that razor caravans will now be escorted by police patrols to prevent further incidents. I'll be interested to see that. The decision comes after 23-year-old Juan Carlos Reña Hernandez was struck by one of these vehicles on Sunday night while heading home from work. His family has called for stricter regulations to prevent reckless drivings. Munguia visited the injured young man in the hospital and assured his family of municipal support. Efforts to regulate razor vehicles date back to 2022, when a legislator proposed safety measures such as mandatory plates, insurance, and noise limits. However, the initiative was rejected in favor of existing mobility laws. With rising concerns, the city is now prioritizing stricter monitoring to enhance road safety. It's unfortunate an accident is what caused that, but at least they're moving forward. Okay, thank you again to Miguel Gonzalez Guerra for that information.
Right now, let me tell you that Puerto Vallarta got a taste of the Olympic level action last week as top athletes hit our area for some high level training. And Joe, he's going to tell us all of the details.
In Puerto Vallarta, 57 participants attended a conference led by Tony Garcia, an international expert in sports training and physical preparation for Venezuela's Olympic team. The event, organized by Comuri Puerto Vallarta, in collaboration with several institutions, focused on the importance of flexibility and mobility for young athletes. Garcia emphasized that a solid foundation in movement is crucial for performance and injury prevention. The session, aimed at coaches, fitness trainers, and sports professionals, offered participants educational materials and exclusive benefits, including a personalized coaching session. This free event underscores the commitment to enhancing sports development in Puerto Vallarta. With information from Fernanda Bojorquez, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
All right, I told you it was exciting news. And now, a quick word from our sponsor.
Are you looking for the perfect spot for your furry friend while you're away? Positively Perfect Dog Care in Nuevo Vallarta is your dog's home away from home. Think boutique hotel vibes, air-conditioned comfort, cuddles, and so much love. Your pup will enjoy 2 daily walks, playtime, and even get obedience practice. They'll sleep indoors with us like part of the family. Plus, we'll send you daily pics and updates so you don't miss a thing. We also offer 2-week live-in obedience and leash training programs to keep your pup on their best behavior. Message us on WhatsApp at 331-496-3310 or visit positivelyperfectdogcare.com for more details.
Okay, you're now crossing into the entertainment part of the show. I sound so like, wow. That's hilarious. But before we do, your family owns a razor. I've seen it parked over there.
It's
what do
so
you think
much fun.
I know, but what do you think? So if you're going to, do you do razor caravans?
We haven't done those. No, we don't do it. We actually just use it to not to spend so much gas and, just to have fun here and there. But there's some people that go so fast and it's very dangerous, especially when they do it at the beach. So, yeah,
we don't like that.
So good.
But you guys follow the rules. So
we follow the rules. We're great.
We're great. Of course, you dropped that one in. All right. Speaking of great, we got some great stories coming up, but we have to take a quick break. So we'll be right back with CPS News, the news that speaks your language. Welcome back. And now we are officially crossing into entertainment. And if we're crossing into entertainment, it means that we have our entertainment ambassador coming up soon.
Yes, she's coming.
I know you're excited. I'm excited too. But it is time for one of our favorite segments. It is Red
Hot.
And it's happening. Let's go.
Hello, I'm Kirsten Rakuya, and I am super excited to share with you the red hot happenings going on in Puerto Vallarta this week. For more info about living here and cool things to do while you're here, check out my blog, sandinmycurls.com. All right, let's dive in.
Celebrate the beauty of nature this April 20th at the Vallarta Botanical Gardens, where families can enjoy a magical Easter surrounded by vibrant flowers and lush greenery. Easter in Bloom invites you to embrace the season with fun outdoor activities, stunning scenery, and a unique holiday experience in the heart of nature. Mark your calendars and get ready to celebrate Easter in Bloom. For more details, visit their website or social media. Ahoy, ye salty dogs! This spring break and Semana Santa, it be time to cast off your landlubber ways and party like a true pirate. Climb aboard the legendary pirate ship Vallarta, where the rum be endless, the grub be fit for a captain, and the adventures be wilder than a rogue wave. Raise your grog and cheer on swashbuckling battles. This be the ultimate high seas bash, and ye don't want to miss it. Book your voyage now at pirateshipvallarta.com or prepare to walk the plank. Attention runners and sports enthusiasts. On Sunday, April 6th, the Puerto Vallarta Marathon is here, featuring a completely revamped course starting at Puerto Mágico. Choose from 42, 21, 10, or 5K races and experience the thrill of a certified Ames World Running Marathon, a qualifier for the Boston Marathon. It's not too late. Register now at maratonpuertovallarta.com and be part of this incredible running event. Experience the beauty of movement. Kimberly LaRue presents Encuentros de Danza, a breathtaking evening of contemporary dance and classical ballet. Experience powerful new works by 6 local choreographers, all brought to life with live vocals by the beautiful Sarah Joy Hackbert. Join them for a night that will stir your soul and lift your spirit. Sunday, April 6th, 5 p.m. at Act 2 PV Theater. Come and watch this unforgettable showcase of grace, passion, and artistry. Get your tickets now. Celebrate the 50th anniversary of Parroquia Santa Cruz in Puerto Vallarta with an elegant 3-course dinner on April 21st at 8 p.m. Enjoy an unforgettable evening with the enchanting voices of tenors Jorge Echegaray and Marco Munoz, accompanied by Maestro Salvatore Rodriguez on piano. Tickets available. Contact Ivan at 322-136-1132 or Lilia at 322-118-7529. Don't miss this magical night. See you there. Join us on April 2nd for the 2nd annual We Are Puerto Vallarta Awards at Coco Cabaret, celebrating the best of our community. The awards ceremony starts at 7 p.m. sharp, so arrive early. There are no reservations. It's a first-come, first-seated situation. Enjoy a night honoring your favorite places, entertainers, and people with our very own Jesse Ruiz as host, and hopefully Brent is a winner. Entry is by donation to Rise Children's Shelter. Step into the shadows of the forbidden. Behind the velvet curtains of the social club Speakeasy lies a world where fashion, fantasy, and indulgence collide. Join us on Saturday, April 19th from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. for a seductive speakeasy experience featuring sultry cocktails, live music, and an erotic pop-up shop with tattoos, piercings, and sensual shopping. At 11 p.m., a roaming fashion show. Then they'll be followed by a piñata full of erotic goodies at midnight. Social Club Speakeasy, next to the Tunnel Bar. No cover. Dare to enter, but be ready to get sexy.
Exciting news for cycling fans. For the first time ever, Mexico will host the Gran Fondo, one of the world's most prestigious cycling events. On April 5th, nearly 1,000 cyclists from across the globe will take on the stunning coastal roads of Bahía de Banderas. With 130 and 90-kilometer routes, this race is more than just a competition. It's a celebration of endurance, adventure, and passion. Cheer on the riders or register now at rbcgranfondo.com/event/Nayarit. All right, that's a wrap for this week, but stick around for the art and entertainment segment, where the talent shines as bright as the Vallarta sun.
Fun events, and it's been great weather still, so let's still go to any of these events, and if you see me there, don't forget to say hi. And now I love really shining a light on amazing people in this community. It was really cool, getting to know Melissa earlier. It was a great interview, fun and very vibrant soul. And so now let me introduce you to someone who has truly elevated the art and culture here in Vallarta. He has brought in incredible shows, and I did a little research on him, and I think you are really gonna enjoy this. So get ready. I'm very excited to present David Sabella.
When it comes to Broadway brilliance, vocal mastery, and the art of cabaret, few names shine brightly as David Sabella. Sabella is best known for originating the role of Mary Sunshine in the record-breaking, Tony Award-winning Broadway revival of Chicago. His performance in the 1996 production, which revived the classic musical for a new generation, showcased his extraordinary countertenor voice, a rare vocal range that allowed him to deliver operatic high notes with astonishing clarity and beauty. This production, now Broadway's longest-running American musical, remains a cultural milestone, and Sabella's contribution played a key role in its early success. But Sabella's career is far more than just Chicago. Classically trained as both a tenor and countertenor, he has performed in some of the most prestigious venues in the world, including Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center, and has collaborated with legends like Luciano Pavarotti. His ability to seamlessly transition between opera, musical theater, and cabaret makes him a true rarity in the industry, and he seamlessly uses his 4-octave range to sing in many different genres and styles. In addition to his Broadway run, Sabella has been a frequent and celebrated performer in New York's cabaret scene. His shows at iconic venues like Feinstein's 54 Below, Birdland, and the Green Room 42 have cemented his reputation as one of the genre's leading voices. His performances, often infused with humor, storytelling, and vocal fireworks, are a masterclass in the art of live entertainment. Beyond performing, Sabella is also a highly respected voice teacher and vocal coach, helping the next generation of Broadway stars refine their technique and stage presence. He has served on the faculty of the Manhattan School of Music, NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, and Montclair State University. His expertise in vocal training has made him a sought-after mentor for performers of all levels. Sabella also co-authored So You Want to Sing Cabaret, a definitive guide that has become a must-read for aspiring and seasoned cabaret performers alike. The book dives into the unique demands of cabaret singing, blending vocal technique with the art of intimate storytelling, something Sabella himself has perfected throughout his career. Today, David Sabella remains an active force in the industry, continuing to perform, teach, and inspire. Whether on stage, in a classroom, or behind the pages of a book, his contributions to Broadway, cabaret, and vocal performance are undeniable. His voice, once described as both angelic and powerful, continues to captivate audiences, reminding the world why he is, and always will be, a Broadway legend. From Broadway to cabaret, from teaching to writing, David Sabella isn't just a performer, he's a force, and his story is far from over. With information from Jesse Ruiz, David Herchak, CPS News.
So yeah, David, I mean, we all know David. I've been down there quite often. So it's great that we had that story. It looks like some really exciting stuff. So hey, David, hope you're doing well. But changes are coming. We're about to be entering into low season and things are going to be winding down here. So you're going to see a little less entertainment. But don't you worry. Red Hot Happenings is not going anywhere, I promise. Okay, now moving out of entertainment a little bit. In our next story, once home to something far less inviting, a remote island is now one of Mexico's most intriguing new travel spots. And here is Barbara to tell you all about it.
Puerto Vallarta, a newly recognized Pueblo Mágico in the Marias Islands, is rapidly becoming one of the most intriguing tourist destinations in Mexico's Pacific coast. Formerly home to one of the country's most enigmatic prisons from 1905 to 2019. Puerto Vallarta has transformed from a historical site into a captivating spot for visitors seeking both adventure and history. This emerging hotspot was highlighted at the 2024 Tianguis Turístico and featured prominently at the Gala Puerto Vallarta Riviera Nayarit 2025. It was drawing attention for its mystique and its efforts to revive and repurpose spaces once used by the notorious federal penitentiary colony. Located on one of the largest islands of the archipelago, Isla Maria Madre Puerto Vallarta is now a must-see destination for those wanting to disconnect and immerse themselves in the fascinating past and stunning nature of the region. The area spans over 641,000 hectares, offering breathtaking landscapes and a unique biodiversity. Visitors can stay in remodeled homes once occupied by the prison staff, and this adds a personal touch to the overall experience. Puerto Vallarta offers a variety of attractions, including the old prison, the guards' quarters, the Templo de Guadalupe, museums, observation points, and ecotourism routes to beaches, and a biosphere reserve teeming with endemic species to enjoy. With a capacity for 420 visitors, the destination operates weekend routes from San Blas and Mazatlan, with an additional route soon to launch from Boca de Chilla, Compostela. Plans for the future include the opening of a beach club and the addition of activities like biking, jet skiing, and kayaking, making Puerto Vallarta an exciting new tourist hub. So whether you're a history buff or a nature lover, Puerto Vallarta offers a unique and unforgettable experience, combining the allure of the past and the natural beauty of the Pacific Mexican coast. With information from Israel Torres, Barbara Lapointe, CPS News.
That was so interesting. I never knew about this place. I'm so excited to go, and check it out. Thank you, Barbara, for that information. And now, guess what? We had a mice here in the marina, but it was a famous one. Check out what, this cruise brought to Puerto Vallarta.
Last week, Puerto Vallarta was enchanted by the arrival of the Disney Wonder, one of Disney's most iconic cruise ships. With over 2,500 passengers and 1,000 crew members aboard, the ship docked at the port, captivating both locals and tourists alike, who couldn't resist snapping photos of the spectacular vessel. The Disney Wonder, with its Art Nouveau design and towering Mickey Mouse emblem, has been delighting travelers since it first set sail in 1999. This floating entertainment paradise offers Broadway-style shows, Disney character appearances, and themed clubs for all ages. Kids can enjoy the Oceaneer Club, complete with a slide, video games, and costumes, while adults can unwind in a serene pool reserved just for them or indulge in spa treatments. As the ship continues its journey to Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta once again proved to be a magical stop, leaving both guests and the local economy smiling with the visit. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Puerto Vallarta's Garden Club is in our next story, and it's adding color and community to the city, one flower at a time. With events, volunteer days, and a passion for greenery, they're making Vallarta bloom like never before. And here's Barbara once more to dig up the details.
Puerto Vallarta's beloved garden club is on a mission to beautify the city, one flower, one tree, and one fiesta at a time. From the vibrant bougainvillea of Old Town to the serene gardens of Isla Quale, this nonprofit group has transformed Vallarta's landscape while fostering at the same time a deeper sense of community. But the Garden Club isn't just about plants, it's about people. And with a motto of Creciendo Juntos, growing together, the club connects locals and expats through gardening, social gatherings, and civic projects. It makes Puerto Vallarta even more special as it grows from a quaint pueblo into a thriving cosmopolitan city. The next upcoming event to help and get to know everyone is Music in the Park. The concert is set for Sunday, April 6th from 4 p.m. to 5:30 on Isla Quale. The incredibly talented Yoli will grace the stage, filling the garden with enchanting melodies. Bring a chair on a blanket, sip on a glass of wine or beer from the concession stand, and enjoy a magical afternoon surrounded by nature. For those who want to give back, the Vallarta Garden Club hosts volunteering gardening days throughout the season. Whether it's planting new trees, maintaining garden spaces, or trimming flowers, volunteers can just come play in the dirt. It's social. Plus, their unique social weeding events include an afternoon of gardening on Isla Quale, and with sangria in hand, of course. The Vallarta Garden Club is a registered nonprofit run by a dedicated volunteer board of directors. Their work is 100% funded by memberships, sponsorships, and private donations. Memberships start at just 500 pesos, and sponsors can fund everything from trees and benches to stepping stones and special green spaces. Get involved. Visit the Vallarta Garden Club website to join, volunteer, or donate, and be part of something that is truly special. Because in Vallarta, we're growing together. With information from Jesse Ruiz, I'm Barbara Lapointe, CPS News.
All right, and earlier we talked about some wildfires, in Cabo Corrientes and Tomatlan, and there is a person that's actually doing something to help the people affected by this wildfires, and she had a party, and it was fantastic, and I want to tell you all about it. In times of crisis, the true spirit of a community shines the brightest. As wildfires swept through the Costa and Sierra Occidental of Jalisco, devastating landscapes and threatening homes, one woman opened her heart and her home to help those in need. On March 26th, Georgia Dershori, the visionary behind Casa Karma, turned her stunning oceanfront villa into a beacon of hope. She organized a special community event to raise funds for those affected by the fires, gathering an incredible lineup of 14 performers and welcoming 80 compassionate guests, all united by a sharp purpose to help rebuild lives. Among the attendees were Frankie Victoria and Jimmy Plouffe, two dedicated community members who spoke passionately about the destruction caused by the fires. Jimmy, in particular, had spent the entire day in the disaster zone, working alongside brigadistas and volunteers to provide aid and relief. His hands were covered in soot, his clothes carrying the scent of smoke, but his spirits remained unshaken. Thanks to Georgia's generosity and the support of Vallarta's caring residents, the evening raised crucial funds to assist with fire relief efforts. But more than that, it served as a powerful reminder that when disaster strikes, Vallarta stands together. As the last song of the night faded into the sound of waves, there was a collective feeling of something stronger than loss, a deep, unwavering sense of community, because in Puerto Vallarta, we don't just live paradise, we take care of it. If you'd like to contribute to the relief efforts, donations are still being accepted at donorbox.org/forward-events. Every bit helps. Jessie Ruiz, CPS News.
So we've come to the end of the newscast again, as we always do, and we really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I think the big story this week for me was the wildfires and all those troubles they're having up there. It's a lot of damage. I've seen a lot of smoke.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people affected by it, so thank you so much, Georgia, for doing this. For the people out there, thank you to Vallarta Cares as well, for finding those people and getting all the help to them. And thank you for standing my voice for this whole hour. I'm so sorry, you guys.
You're quite the trooper. We should definitely get you some more tea, but you did great. Thanks for sticking with us today. Thank you for watching CPS News. We'll be back next week with all of Jessie's voice, I hope.
Hopefully with a new set.
Oh, we keep promising it. It's coming. I promise you too. All right. See you next week on the new set. We hope. Thank you so much for watching CPS News, the news that speaks your language, and good night.
About the destruction caused by the fires. Jimmy, in particular,